million times you can say but there's only one time you can lose your eyes. So you're new to woodworking, you're an absolute newbie, what saw should you get? The right answer to this one is buy them all. This quick video I'll cover these four. So we'll start off with the trusty circular saw. Very versatile, you can move it around, you can use it wherever you want. Perfect if you're cutting long pieces or large pieces. You can get tracks for this, does help you go straight because your accuracy isn't always guaranteed with these. You can adjust the height on these. You can also adjust the angle on these like that. Fairly cheap prices for a Chinese one, if I'm allowed to say that, is 50 quid. I do recommend highly, if you're going to buy a circular saw, buy a cordless one. They might start about 150 quid for the saw, battery and charger. Also not the safest saw to use, so be careful. If you do get kickback on one of these, you can call it the Wrist Breaker 500. But besides that, very useful. Next over to the big boy. This one always looks good in videos. I absolutely hate this thing just because of the amount of mess it makes. Bear that in mind. I even bought a dust bag. It sucks. I've tried the vacuum. It sucks. This is a compound sliding mitre saw, so I'll run you through the 3 different types. Sliding because it slides. I don't have much space because I decided to buy the biggest one, which I regret. This is going straight back in the box afterwards. If you want a mitre saw, this is what mitre is. The angle is adjustable. And because this is a compound saw, it also does a bevel, which is this. So if you have the bevel and the mitre together, that is a compound saw. Pros of this, it's great for smaller pieces, it's quite safe to use. The major downsides to this, despite the size that I've got, for the depth you can really cut on here, you're limited to about 30 centimeters. So if you're going to be doing bigger jobs, this probably isn't for you. If you're working with smaller pieces, you need a bevel or a mitre, cutting battens or timber, it's not bad. Prices on this, you can pick these up for 90 quid, 100 quid starting. If you want to go cordless, which would also be handy, you're looking about 250. Next we have the Jigsaw. Again, small, compact, versatile, you can move it around. If you need to cut down long pieces, this isn't for you, it will take forever. But for fine pieces, this can work. The biggest pro and the only reason you'll really need this is so you can cut curves. Anything with a curve or a round edge or intricate designs, you will need one of these because these other tools will not do it. Very cheap, you can pick up a corded one for maybe 40 quid. And if you want to get a cordless, which you should, definitely get a cordless one. Prices start about 60, 70 quid. You can actually adjust the angle on these as well to go from 0 to 45. Quite versatile, just not for bigger jobs, bear that in mind. Lastly, my personal favourite, if you have the space for it, in my opinion it is the best saw you could probably have. This is a table saw, fairly safe to work on. You have a solid table, you can have a fence, you can have another angle guide, a riving knife to help you keep the piece straight after it goes past the blade. Again, these are adjustable for the height, and just like the others, you can also adjust the angle like that. From what I've noticed, it hardly makes any mess if you have the vacuum attached. Check out my shop vac video. If you're new to woodworking and you're going to need one of these, the one I've bought, I recommend. Pros of this, you can rip down big pieces. You can also make attachments like the sled that I've made. Then you can do finer pieces and fine tuning. Prices for these start at just 100 quid as well. You might look at it and think it's more, but it's not. If you was to go cordless, you are looking a bit more, maybe around the £500 mark, just to start off with. To me personally, if you have the money and you have the space, I'd definitely recommend this. This is my favourite, it is the one I use the most now. If you don't have the space or you don't want one of these, then I would recommend a combination of these two. If you are getting sheets of big wood, you can rip these down into smaller pieces with your circular saw, and then if you need to do any bevels or miters, fine tuning, cutting down battens and whatnot, braces, then you can do that on here. So a combination of the two, depending on what you're doing, or the table saw. Again, if you're working with any small pieces and you want to cut some curves, then a jigsaw is definitely the way to go. Honestly, the best advice I can give, if you can, if you have the money or you can wait and save up, most of these tools, maybe except the table saw, buy the cordless version. You will regret it at some point. It's just so much easier. If you can also try get the same brand, then you might be able to change the batteries. The dust bags might be compatible, easier for warranty purposes. So just try to stick with the same brand. And the most important thing for all these saws, which is cheap and universal, is these bad boys. Now I know I look sexy in it, you may not, but trust me, we all do it. You think you'll get away with it, you don't need it. A million times you can say but there's only one time you can lose your eyes. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you'd like to see videos like this about any other tools. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you next time.